Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Now guys, today I've got a bit of an experiment going on. I'm going to be cross-pollinating my two Schlumbergera truncata cacti, commonly known as Thanksgiving or Christmas cactus. And I'm going to be pollinating the two flowers together. Now I've already made a few videos actually on how to pollinate Schlumbergera Christmas, Thanksgiving, holiday cactus. So this isn't necessarily a how-to video because I've already done that. So if you have not seen that video and you want to know how to pollinate your Schlumbergera Christmas cactus flowers, do check that video out. Link should be up above and also down below in the About section. This is an experiment today. And what I'm going to be doing, the reason why it's a bit of an experiment is because two different types of Schlumbergera truncatas and very different in the ages. And we have here, this one is a very old, original Schlumbergera truncata, possibly is about 70 years old. I always tell people, oh, it's at least 50 years old. But it's actually, I think, more likely to be 70 years old when I'm working it out now. And this is one of the true truncatas. And the reason I say true is because it has the long sort of leaves on this. The truncata is different to the Buckley, which is the true Christmas cactus. This is actually more commonly known as a Thanksgiving because it has the crab-like sort of sharp edging around it to the segments. And the Christmas cactus has the smooth scalloped segments. Again, I'll also put links up above and down below on how to tell the difference between a Christmas cactus and a Thanksgiving cactus. If you have one of these plants, then it will tell you how to know the difference. And the reason being, they all seem to be put really under one category now, Schlumbergera Christmas cactus. But really the true Christmas cactus is different. It has different, the flowers hang down and also that the leaf segments are different. But strictly speaking, they're all under the category of Christmas cactus and pollinating the flowers is the same as I mentioned in the pollinating video. And before I go any further, please do give my wonderful fiance, Hans, who is behind the camera filming me at the moment, a big thumbs up and go over and subscribe to his wonderful cactus and succulent and gardening channel called Family of Cactusy and Other Beauties. So do go over and subscribe. And thank you, Hansi, for filming me. So as I say, this is a video experiment. Now, I'm going to be using two different brushes. The reason being, when it comes to cross-pollinating, you can use the one brush and just load up the pollen there and then put it onto the pollen on this one and vice versa. But because I want to know how strictly keep this separate, in other words, I want to take the pollen from this flower on this old truncata here and put it onto the pollen on the stigma on this truncata here. And this truncata is a recent new addition that I got a couple of weeks ago. And as you can see, the leaf segments are much wider and sort of more serrated than my old truncata. Again, it's both truncata, but these are the newer hybrids. The hybrids tend to be wider leaved and also sharper tufted than the original truncatas. Many, many, many different hybrids on the market. Some hybrids would actually be self-sterile and they may not necessarily be able to pollinate them, but this is part of the experiment. I've pollinated a lot of my Schlumbergeras and always had success, whether it's self-pollinating with its own flower or cross-pollinating. Cross-pollinating is fun. And as I say, pollinating a red flower and an orange flower is going to be interesting to see what colour it's going to turn out to be eventually. It could come out maybe a pinky sort of strange colour, I'm not sure, but this is more fun. I've got seed before and I've successfully sown it. We've got little baby seedlings of Schlumbergera at the moment in our grow room, which is really cute, so it does work. Now, let's start with this one first. And the reason why I'm using two brushes, as I say, I want to keep the pollen clean. So always good to have a little tray to collect the pollen if it falls off. It's always good to use a flower that's opened at least 1 or 2 days, so it's not just opened. And then what you want to do then is very careful, collect the pollen, careful not to touch that. Now if you're self-pollinating it, then you can load the pollen up and put it on the end itself or onto another flower on another part here, which I've often done, but this case we're cross-pollinating, so it's important to keep this pollen away from the stigma here. So load up the brush here. Loads and loads of pollen, and you'll know when you've got the pollen. As you can see on the end, it's very, very tiny bits of yellow pollen there, and then drag it over here. And what you want to do then is get it onto the stigma of the other one. Being very careful not to get any of the pollen from this one onto that, otherwise it's difficult to know if it's been a success. And you literally just wipe it on like that. Very, very careful there not to go too much where you're going to get the pollen from that onto that. So be very careful there. And that's all you need to do. And then take that down. Now I'm going to do the pollen from this one onto that one. So again, same thing again. It's very, very careful not to get that on there. As I say, if you want to just pollinate itself, you can load it up and put it on there. But we're cross-pollinating, remember? So I want to be careful, very careful here that I don't get any of that onto that stigma. Very difficult to do. As you can see there, a bit of pollen. And Hans is doing a great job there of filming. And now this is going to be going onto this one. And as you can see, it's got a little bit yellow already. So there you go. It's almost like they're having sex with each other, isn't it? And that's all you have to do. And as I say, the reason why I changed the brush is because if I use the same brush, then it's going to be difficult to know by cross-pollinating. I know this one is completely cross-pollinated with the orange one, and the orange one is completely cross-pollinated with the red one. And as I say, if you just have one plant, then you can just literally, obviously, load up the brush with the pollen and just put it onto the same stigma or onto another stigma on the flower as well. There's many different ways, but as I do, check out the video on how to cross-pollinate and pollinate Schlumbergera, and it goes a bit more detail on there, and also the success stories I've had with the little fruit forming afterwards. So guys, this is an experiment, so stay tuned to see. I'm going to carry on now doing some more, obviously, but it'd be too long a video for us to carry on now. Stay tuned for future updates, whether it's a success or not, and thank you, Hansi, for filming me. And if you want to know how to grow Christmas cactus, Schlumbergera, including Thanksgiving, holiday cactus, do check out the video I have made on how to care for Schlumbergera. Links will be down below in the About section and also up above. And I've also done a vlog for my website called desertplantsofavalon.com, where I also go into detail on how to care for these gorgeous plants at this time of year. So guys, thanks so much for watching and all of your support. And do you grow Schlumbergera? If you do, what type of flowering plants have you got? Let me know. Drop your comments down below, because I love to hear what type of Schlumbergera you are growing at this time of year. And guys, I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant and flower power. As always, Macrossian will dial. And until the next video, bye.